Now, there looked like there was a huge, the household, all three people were found dead in Montezuma County. It looks like not a huge, but a murder-suicide, maybe a murder-suicide. Three dead bodies in Montezuma County. I'll get to the details of that first. I want to just mention this guy's name because you had Boulder County, Adam Gresham, 31. So 31-year-old Adam Gresham, Gresham, Gresham. He was suspected of assault, and then they found him dead on 100 block East 2nd Street in Nederland. And they said that they didn't think the death was suspicious and that there was no threat to the public. Even if the man had assaulted and they went, I mean, what? He hit a man and then killed himself? What could possibly be the reasoning to say that there's no, threat to the damn neighborhood? If you think that he killed himself, if you don't, then that means there's a murderer that's out, running around. So that's the man's name. They finally released the man's name, Adam Gresham, 31. Will we ever find out what actually happened to 31 Adam Gresham? I guess only time will tell. This comes from the Durango Herald. Holy shit, the Cortez Police Department is investigating 3 deaths at 1609 Tucker Court in Cortez. Montezuma County is one of the 64 counties in Colorado. Its population in 2020 was 26,000. Cortez has a population of 8,000 or so. The capital of Montezuma County is Cortez. So this happened in the capital of Montezuma County. The bodies of 2 men and 1 woman were found Wednesday morning, Brock said, but the time of death was not known. All 3 were residents of the home. Foul play is suspected. The investigation continues. A firearm was present at the scene, but what type was not available. Brock declined to comment about whether murder-suicide was suspected, saying it was an ongoing investigation. Patrol Lieutenant Rex Brinkerhoff emphasized that there's no threat to the community. The only way that there's no threat to the community is if it was a murder-suicide. If it's not a murder-suicide and you just had somebody that just got, somebody just executed 3 people in their homes, hell, you could have made it look like a murder-suicide. So for them to not say that and then to act like there's no threat to the neighborhood, it very much sounds like a murder-suicide. Why the fuck won't you say it? That seems suspicious as fuck. Because if it's not a murder-suicide, again, you got a goddamn motherfucker, murderer, running around. Montezuma County Coroner George Devers responded to the scene at 11 a.m. Wednesday, said it appeared that the deaths occurred 2 to 4 days earlier. So a whole household was shot to death. 2 to 4 days later, found out. Autopsies were ordered. One man was identified as William A. Sanderson, 80 years old. William A. Sanderson, R.I.P. The autopsy determined the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. Somebody killed William A. Sanderson. The other 2 autopsies were conducted Thursday, but the results weren't available. Montezuma County Sheriff's Office and CBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigation, assisted in the investigation on Friday. Cortez police said the incident remained under investigation but released a few more details. Police responded to the residents because they asked for a welfare check. They hadn't heard from the residents for a few days. The caller was not identified. The Cortez Fire Protection District responded first because there was a concern of carbon monoxide danger in the residents. Firefighters determined it was safe to enter. Police then entered, found the 3 bodies. The firefighters didn't see them. Foul play is suspected in the investigation. Foul play is suspected? Are you sure? Are you sure? 3 dead bodies, blunt force trauma, fucking firearm. Did somebody get their... Forensic analysis still being conducted. 2 bodies were found in a bedroom. The location of the 3rd body was not revealed. A firearm was found. He would not say if it was used or whether the bodies had bullet wounds. The 3 residents were part of an extended family. William Sanderson and the woman in her 20s were married, and the other man, her son, was in his 40s. So the son got pissed off and killed the 2 and then killed himself. Maybe. Montezuma County Assessor Site lists William and Ona Sanderson as the owners of the home at 1609 Tucker Court. So then it was probably Ona Sanderson and William Sanderson and her son. And William got into an argument with the son. Police said they received no complaints from the residents and they had no known criminal records. Police canvassed the neighborhood Wednesday, interviewed neighbors. Nobody had negative comments about them. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood. There was shock and sadness. Sanderson was courteous and generous neighbor, said Donna Murphy. He would bring our trash cans in when we were away and gave us cucumbers from his garden. We're heartbroken. He said that there was no sign of trouble at the home. The family has lived there since 2019. She said she heard no gunshots. Other neighbors said nothing was out of the ordinary at the residence. It is shocking that there's loss of life 2 doors down and you don't know about it until police show up, said some anonymous piece of shit. Another neighbor who declined to be identified said Sanderson was a good man who retired, took frequent walks around the neighborhood. He cared for his wife who had medical problems. He walked the neighborhood, was a polite man to talk with. He left fresh vegetables at our door, brought in our trash cans when we were gone. We're all just shocked. They said they did not know the mother or the son. Residents said the neighborhood is quiet and there's not a lot of socializing, especially since the pandemic. On Friday, 2 people working at the Sanderson home declined to comment. 2 people working at the Sanderson home declined to comment. Well, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? If it's an internal goddamn problem, right, we'll leave you to your damn privacy. But until we find out what the hell's actually going on, when somebody came in and just shot these 3 people up and you're not going to say shit, you're not going to tell us that there's a damn murder running around? So R.I.P. to William A. Sanderson. R.I.P. to Ona Sanderson. And if it was a son, then he gave himself capital punishment. There's not much you could do in terms of, getting justice, achieving justice, pursuing justice. But if they were just robbed, if they were just, randomly killed and murdered and robbed, they weren't talking to each other. It's possible somebody went in there, did something terrible to all of them and then got out without nobody being none the wiser. Somebody would have seen something, though, right? So, yeah, goddamn Montezuma County, Montezuma Sheriff's Department in, was it Longmont, Colorado Springs, Nederland? Nederland, y'all need to tell us if it was a goddamn suicide or not. Because if there's a murderer running around, our community, our neighborhood, we need to know about that. And that is a threat. You could tell us it's not a threat. You could also piss on us and, tell us that it's raining or whatever. So, yeah, fuck your bullshit. Fuck your bullshit. Was it a suicide? Was it a murder-suicide or not? Should we be nervous that somebody might come in here and shoot the whole family up and rob the house? Seemed like it'd be a pretty easy determination, frankly, because were they robbed? I mean, it was probably not a political, sort of thing. So if they weren't robbed, it's probably some sort of internal. Instead, you just leave people speculating, which makes it worse. Anyways, R.I.P. William and Ona Sanderson, R.I.P.